Today I'm showcasing the fragrances that I made the biggest dent in 2023. These were my most used perfumes. I didn't necessarily purchase them this past year, but I did use them a lot. So if you're interested in seeing some of my most loved fragrances, definitely keep on watching. I will be doing a separate video talking about my favorite discoveries of 2023, so keep your eyes peeled for that if that's not already up. Otherwise, I'll just put it in the cards. But yeah, if this is your first time watching, hello, my name is Anya. I love fragrances and I post here every single Wednesday with bonus videos in between, so definitely subscribe if you're interested in fragrances. I'm going to start off with one of my favorite perfumes of all time. This is by Dolce and Gabbanna. It's L'Imperatrice. I have this 1 ounce and I also have a backup ready to go that's in the larger size because I love this fragrance so much. This is a very refreshing take on rhubarb, a bit of kiwi and watermelon. This also has the note of cyclamen. This smells to me like a very refreshing, fizzy, summery drink, and I actually wore this a lot in the summer. This particular fragrance really thrives in tropical, humid climates as well, but this perfume has, quite frankly, become a very comforting fragrance for me because I have a lot of really positive associations when it comes to like scent memories pertaining to this fragrance. So I love this perfume. I definitely spray it on very often. It's an eau de toilette, so the power of this one is not as significant as some other fragrances, but I definitely think with a scent profile, it actually adds to the fragrance, it adds to the experience to have the concentration not be as high, because I think it just adds to that refreshing aspect. So that's partially why I've used it up so much, but I'm definitely almost done with this bottle, and I don't think I've ever used up a fragrance before because I like so much variety, but this would be the first one. And yeah, like I said, I already have a backup because this is truly one of the most unique scents I've ever smelled, and I honestly can't do without it. So L'Imperatrice by Dolce and Gabbana, I absolutely love that scent. I also have Choco Musk by Al-Rehab. This is one I've had for years, and I did use it a lot in 2023 as well. However, I discovered it, I think, like a few years back. This has gone through quite a dent. I'm like just under halfway through with this one. This is a powdery chocolate vanilla scent. It's very sweet. It's definitely great for layering with other perfumes because it's pretty linear. It doesn't really change that much. There's not much complexity to this. It's just your very reliable, sweet, powdery choco vanilla scent. It's really quite pretty. It's also a very affordable fragrance. It's under $10 on Amazon, so there's really no way you can go wrong with this, especially if you love gourmand fragrances. This is an absolutely beautiful perfume, and it's also available in the oil form too. So the oil form lasts longer because it's an oil, but it doesn't project as much. I love to overspray this, and I also like to wear it with other fragrances as well for like some chocolate complexity. So yeah, I absolutely love this one, and I very much recommend it, especially if you love chocolate scents. This year was the first year I really started getting into buying full bottles of niche perfumes, and I believe this was my first niche fragrance that I purchased this year. It's Une Nuit Nomade Sugar Leather. I love this brand. They truly have some amazing creations. Highly recommend you get their discovery set, by the way. I think I featured it in a video before. You do get a voucher when you purchase it. When you purchase that discovery set, so I think it's pretty great. And yeah, this fragrance I think is, sorry, oh wait, hold on. I just did my nails. I was like afraid that like part of my gel was coming off. I just started like getting into doing gel manicures by myself, and I'm like, it's a learning process. So I was kind of afraid that my gel was coming off, but it's not. Everything's fine. So Une Nuit Nomade Sugar Leather is I think one of the most hyped up fragrances of 2023. This was very popular online, and the way I can describe this scent, it's kind of like a sugared leather fragrance, but the leather here is very suede-like. So there's sugar, caramel, it has a little bit of a resinous scent. It's absolutely amazing in the cold weather. I've been overspraying this one a lot. In the summer, I also like this fragrance, but I would just wear one spray and that was it. Now I definitely overspray it, and there's like a little bit of a baby dent. I would say I've made a dent quite quickly in this one, especially compared to some of my other fragrances, because it takes me a long time to use fragrances. That's what I've discovered. So for me, this might not look like a big dent, but this is significant for me. So that's why this fragrance is in the video. I definitely see myself repurchasing this one if and when I use it up, because this is very much a compliment getter. It's a very smooth fragrance. It has some sweetness to it, but it's not overly done. I love this scent, and yeah, that's one of my favorite fragrances of 2023 especially. I just love Sugar Leather. I also like some of their other creations as well. I have one other full bottle from the brand, and I would like to get Jardin de Misfa next, which I believe is like a date scent. That one is beautiful. I have a sample of it, and yeah, so I'm excited to try more from Une Nuit Nomade in 2024 as well. This next fragrance is a designer. It's one from Lancome. This is Idole Nectar. Now, one of the reasons why this dent is so pronounced is because this is a smaller size. Honestly, in hindsight, I wish I had bought the bigger size, because this is one of my favorite fragrances and I wear it very often. This is a caramelized popcorn with rose. So it's a gourmand fragrance, but it does have that rose note, which makes it a little bit different compared to other more traditionally edible fragrances, or fragrances that smell like they could be edible. So this is also a scent that very much stays on throughout the day or throughout the night, whatever you choose to wear it for. And it also has a beautiful sillage as well. I love overspraying this. It is one of my favorite discoveries of 2023, and I have been using it heavily. So this is another one that I would repurchase if I ever ran out of it, and I'm definitely sure I will. But yeah, Idole Nectar, an absolutely beautiful fragrance that I very much love, and the bottle is beautiful as well. So yes, this is one of my favorite designer fragrances of all time. So yeah, definitely recommend if you haven't smelled it already. Next, I have Gucci Memoir de Odeur. This is another fragrance that happens to be designer. This is one of the more unique smelling designer fragrances I have ever encountered, and it has a scent that's aromatic, that's herbal. There's chamomile in here. It's a little bit zesty. I get some citrus in the opening, and then it has a woodier dry down. So this is a really beautiful fragrance. It's perfect for people who don't necessarily want something that's like too perfumey. This is very unique, and it also happens to be a very nostalgic scent for a lot of people, hence the name. And it's also one of the fragrances that for me, I have to overspray it to really get a sense of the scent to be able to smell myself. So hence the dent. This is definitely one of my favorite fragrances. I don't reach for it as much as I used to. So I don't know if I'd buy a backup of this. I'm just being honest. I really like it. I just don't wear it that much. So it depends. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it's discontinued. I think for a bit, it might have been getting discontinued, and I was kind of like nervous about it, but I don't think it's discontinued. Actually, it might be discontinued. Then should I get a backup? I don't know. I know that L'Impératrice, this one is not discontinued. So I'm very happy about that. Otherwise, I don't think L'Impératrice is discontinued. I sometimes get the two mixed up in terms of like their status on the market. But Gucci Memoir, I believe that one's discontinued. L'Impératrice is not, but for a time I thought it was, which is why I bought the backup, but I still am glad that I have the backup just in case. I'm going to switch things up a bit and talk about Velvet Rose by Lattafa. This is another scent that I absolutely love. It's essentially like a slightly fruity rose in the opening, but then it dries down into something that's a bit more of an aromatic rose. This also has labdanum, and it's just such a beautiful, zesty, refreshing scent. In terms of categorizing it, I would say it goes in the same category as L'Impératrice and Gucci Memoir for being a lighter fragrance that I easily overspray. So while these fragrances don't smell similar at all, they all have like that lightness to them that honestly makes me like easily just like overspray them, and I just love the sillage. I just love the experience. This definitely doesn't last all day, but I'm okay with that. I like to spray it in my hair too, because I feel like it lasts longer in my hair. And yeah, there is quite a bit of a dent. Would I repurchase a backup of this, or would I repurchase this fragrance again? Absolutely. This is like literally under $20 on Amazon. There's really no way to go wrong with this one. I love it. I think it's fantastic. This next one is also from Lattafa. I like a lot of Lattafa fragrances, and I genuinely happen to reach for a lot of them quite often. So this is one that I absolutely love. It's on Abiyedh Poudrée. This is very underrated. I think this is a fantastic option if you're a fan of powdery vanilla perfumes. This almost has like a peach-like quality to it. And it also has a bit of cardamom as well, so it's slightly warm spicy, but it's very much focused on a beautiful powdery vanilla, and it's such a comforting fragrance. It's very comforting, it's very cozy, and I've made a somewhat of a dent in it. I love this fragrance, and it actually does have a pretty good staying power as well. So a little bit of this one does go a long way. So the fact that I've sprayed so much of it to like have a dent like this, and this is a little bit of a stronger fragrance, I think that says a lot about how much I really like this one. I have worn it with other fragrances. I would say most notably Une Nuit Nomade by Al-Rehab. I like wearing those two together because they're both powdery fragrances. But this is one that I absolutely love, and it's also very affordable too. So yeah, if you're a fan of powdery vanilla scents, definitely give this one a try. It's more of like a baby powdery fragrance, but I think it's great. I really, really like it. So next up is another designer. This is Pure Poison by Dior. I actually don't have a lot of designers in my collection because I'm very selective about what designers come in to my collection, and they're so accessible. It's very easy to try a designer fragrance. So I will typically be very selective about what comes in because I don't have to blind buy them as much. They're pretty easy to get. So yeah, the designer fragrances that I do have, I love. And Pure Poison is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. This one is very good. It's like a beautiful, clean musk with a woody dry down. This is amazing. There's something about this fragrance that makes me think of someone who's not trying too hard, but still is very magnetic. This has an amazing sillage, great longevity, and it's just one of those fragrances that people gravitate towards. So if we're talking about like seductive fragrances, in my experience, this is definitely one of them for me, because there's just something about it that draws people in, and it's one of my favorite fragrances. So yeah, if you like musks, this is definitely a great option. In terms of a dent, I'm just under halfway through. So again, that's for me, that's pretty significant because I tend to experiment with a lot of fragrances, and I know that a lot of people on like fragrance YouTube, fragrance TikTok, fragrance Instagram, what have you, tend to overspray. I don't overspray as much as a lot of other creators. I know that some people spray like 20 sprays. I probably will do like 5 to 10 max, and that's pushing it. Mostly because I've kind of been like, I personally have people in my life that are very sensitive to fragrance, so I am conscious of that. And also, I just like to have like a more subtle kind of subtle experience sometimes. So yeah, if I experience a dent in my perfumes, it's because I wear that fragrance over and over and over and over again, not just because I overspray that. So yeah, Pure Poison, one of my absolute favorite fragrances that I very much love. So that's pretty much it for this video. 8 fragrances that I think are amazing options. We have super affordable and we also have niche. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it interesting. I don't know if I've already posted my 2023 favorite discoveries video yet, but if I do have that posted, I'll put it somewhere on the screen in the cards, or it'll just be on my channel if you're interested in checking it out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.